morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Trading Capital's live stream of the market open. So we are set for some 8:30 data. We have initial job loss claims reflecting either strength or weakness in the job market, the labor market. And we also have PPI, Producer Price Index, reflection of inflation on the manufacturer or corporate side. So far, we are still seeing the markets gapping down under pressure today. SPY is currently trading at 598.75. Let's just look at this in the pre-market. There's going to be a ton of trades today. Ton of trade opportunities today. Let's keep the Dixie up. Dixie's absolutely falling here. Absolutely getting crushed. So far, I'm seeing yields getting clobbered yet again. 10-year yield down 1.61%. Absolutely atrocious price action. PPI. Edward saying don't have any money. That's okay, you will. PPI coming in line. 6 months, 3 to 6 months tuning in here, you'll have some more cash, Edward, don't worry. Patience. Morning, Paul. Alright, so PPI pretty much coming in line with that market expectations. You are seeing yields just absolutely getting crushed to the downside. 2-year yield down 1.8. Initial jobless claims. Initial jobless claims pretty much coming in line as well. A 2,000 report over the 246,000. Forecast coming in at 248,000. So really it was some soft data that does actually give the markets a bit of reprieve in my opinion. You're not coming in too hard, you're not coming in too soft, coming in line. So now it's just a matter of how far do we dip in this market. We're still in a raging uptrend. Obviously there's a lot of trades to discuss this morning. Boeing is a big one. BA absolutely getting crushed in the pre-market here. Obviously Boeing's under pressure because of a fatal crash that happened in India. Rest all the people's souls who were part of that tragedy. Nevertheless, that provides opportunity for us. You can see Boeing closing at 214, gapping down 198. Boeing's chart was still looking very strong as of yesterday. The only negative about technical price action was that it was putting in a daily chart bearish divergence. So it's very interesting yet again. This is a freak accident crash, a fatal crash, but the technicals were showing some signs of distribution. Nevertheless, Boeing, let's see if we are setting up a day trade. You're coming into this high pivot. A type of accident like this, I mean, I haven't really read the full report, but is the crash due to a Boeing plane? Let's see here. Is Boeing, or is it due to the pilot? So the recent Air India Boeing 7878 Dreamliner crash in Ahmedabad is still under investigation, but early reports suggest multiple possibilities. Aviation experts noted that the aircraft's undercarriage was still deployed, while the flaps had already been retracted, which is considered unusual so soon after takeoff. Some analysts speculate that a possible cockpit error or mechanical failure could have contributed to the crash. Additionally, the Boeing 787 model has faced technical scrutiny in the past, including hydraulic leaks and flap malfunctions, which led to flight cancellations earlier this year. However, this is the first fatal crash involving a Boeing 787 since its commercial debut in 2011. The black box data will be investigated. So again, we really don't know. It's speculation here. So I'm gonna guess that probably also was human error, pilot error. Maybe it's the not necessarily the plane itself, but you have a whole lot of aspects of flight preparation. So in terms of flight prep, what does the crew do in advance of takeoff? Was there an engineer that missed an inspection? So it's hard to pinpoint the exact problem since it's so early in the investigation. But I do think that there's a nice little opportunity here in Boeing. So let's try to isolate this. So we're approaching these pivot highs here. The question is that going to be enough? Let's throw up a fib retrace from that low pivot to the high. So you can see we're piercing through that first little, we're testing that first little 236 zone on BA. There is some support there, that's for sure. Definitely some support there. Let's see where Boeing is actually fallen in the pre-market low. So pre-market low of 195.50 on BA. So this is the issue with this stock, right? We have a weak market so far, gapping down slightly in the pre-market, and Boeing's obviously under pressure. But aggressive traders, I think we can look for a long off the one. If we test pre-market low, it's worth taking a shot. If you're more conservative, you wait for the 193 zone, 193 to 192. Let me just look at the monthly chart here of BA. Yeah, you still have a really strong monthly chart of BA. This is actually a needed pullback. You're getting a monthly 7 and 20 bullish crossover, so that looks very, very good. Alright, so that's one of the big movers in the pre-market, Boeing. We'll take a look at some other things in the pre-market. In terms of strength, obviously you have Oracle, ORCL. That one's ripping face here in the pre-market into a pivot high. This one's again a tough short. It is very extended off of this gap up. I would expect some profit taking off of this earnings or gap up. That's what we usually see. You are into this wide range red bar breakdown, but it does look like Oracle now wants to target that 198.47 previous all-time high. There's a lot of shouts on Wall Street now and in the finance community that Oracle is going to be the next $1 trillion stock. We will see. Alright, Lowe's getting a little bit of action. Let's see what ticker L Lowe's is happening. Nothing really there to report. SP Logistics. Realistically, more of the volume today intra-market, pre-market is it's only having 360 max resolution on YouTube. Let's take a peek. You know, it might have been because I adjusted my screen. Bear with me here, guys. The joys of technical streaming. If it's not mic issues, it's broadcasting issues, but we'll quickly fix it. We got a lot of time here for discuss some setups. I think I know exactly what it is, but it's gonna throw my charts off briefly here. Let me, I'm gonna restart the entire stream. It'll take me about 2 minutes or so. But we will get this going again since the quality on YouTube is not cooperating.